Welcome in, everyone. I hope you guys are doing great wherever you're watching from today. We have a fascinating video to go over, and this is footage of a Delta Force hostage rescue. That is right, footage of a Delta Force hostage rescue that is making waves on different social media platforms. It's getting pushed out, amplified. A lot of people are just seeing it for the first time. Some of you watching this might recognize the footage, but it is really, really cool. And the unique thing about this footage is it just shows how great these guys are at what they do and how, fortunate we all really should be that tier one operators exist capable of doing jobs like direct action, like hostage rescue, going through the most advanced, toughest training on the planet. You guys are going to love this video. And then after we show it, we'll get into the details. And I'll show you one of my favorite all-time clips of a Delta Force operator going in and talking about how these situations can be handled in a specific event where this guy had to save a woman's life. I love talking about this stuff. You guys know it. So let's go ahead and dig in. But before we do, as always, please make sure to like and subscribe. Totally free. Cost you guys absolutely nothing at all. Huge, 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 huge boost to the channel. Comment with your thoughts below about the hostage rescue. What do you think of the video? What do you think of Delta Force? What unit in the United States military are you most fascinated by? Which unit has the coolest history in your mind? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that notifications bell, all notifications turned on. You won't miss a thing. The best information on all of YouTube. And then right here, Instagram, David_Hookstead, X, D Hookstead. That's where you can find me online on social media. My DMs are totally open. If you have any information or tips you want me to look into, go ahead and please reach out there. I'm very receptive, very responsive. Love hearing from you guys. Now let's get into it. For those of you who don't know, Delta Force is the United States Army's Tier 1 unit. What does Tier 1 unit mean? It means it's essentially kept on an alert status with incredible funding, a war footing at all times. It is a tip of the spear unit. The interesting thing for those of you who might not know, Delta Force actually recruits across the entire DoD. It's not just Army guys. Yes. Are there a lot of Army Rangers in it? Are there a lot of SF guys who go to Delta? No question about it. However, you can come from anywhere. There have been guys from the Navy who have ended up in the unit. There have been Marines who've ended up in the unit. There have been Air Force guys who have ended up at the unit. The unit is a big umbrella. The idea is the more different diversified skill sets we can get in here. If you can pass OTC, if you can pass selection and then OTC, of course, they go to selection. They get through it. They go to OTC. Then they get assigned to one of the 4 assault squadrons, A, B, C, and D, A and B being the originals, C following next, and then as you would expect in order, D getting stood up later. These dudes are the best people in the world at what they do, which is take out bad guys, rescue hostages. That is what the charter of the organization is. Direct action, counterterrorism, hostage rescue. And when it comes to doing that job, they will go out there and shellac dudes in a fashion that, quite frankly, is mind-boggling. And whenever you see some of these leaked videos, it just blows me away. So that's what we're going to talk about today. This is a video. I'm going to throw this up here. Pause it real quick. So this is a September 7th, 2005 video. This video has been online before. It has been out for quite some time, actually, but it just resurfaced and it's starting to go viral again. A lot of people are learning about this for the first time. This video shows the rescue of an American hostage who had been taken hostage in Iraq. His name was Roy Hallums. And eventually Delta Force, along with the 160th SOAR, the Night Stalkers, the best helicopter pilots on the planet, they get the call with one clear mission. Hey, we think we know where this guy is. You're going to go in and get him, and you're going to bring this American back home safely because that's your job as a tier 1 direct action operator. You're going to crush bad guys. You're going to save lives. That's what you do, and you do it better than anyone else. Trust me when I say this video really sums up just how good these guys are. Let's watch it. So right now, you see the assault element coming in on the helicopters. They're at an Iraqi farmhouse. They're getting off armed with their rifles. They are making entrance to where he is. This is how good their intel is. They're not walking around checking out what's going on. They know right away where they believe he's being held. They start clearing the area. They're going to get their tools out, their gadgets out. They're going to get this hole open. They got jackpot. They know where Roy is. They're going to bust this thing open. Here we go. All right, he's in the holes. Got to get in there. Someone's got to get in there and save him. Here the operators are going in. Boom, right there. Jackpot. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. I got to watch the insertion again. Helicopters land. They know exactly where they're going because their intel is that good. They're going to make entry on the building. And right away, they know, hey, this guy's down here. Let's get this shit moved. Let's get this rug up. Let's get our tools. Notice how they're not wasting any time. Notice how they're not just moseying around. This is get in and get out as fast as you possibly can. Crack this thing open and get this dude up here. So I'm going to put this up on the screen now for you all. These are some details of the raid. So Roy Hallums says on November 1st, 2004, 20 gunmen stormed the compound where Hallums and his colleagues were working in the upscale Mansour district of Baghdad. Hallums was taken hostage along with Roberto Tarango of the Philippines, Unis Dawari of Nepal, and 3 Iraqis. Dawari and the Iraqis were released soon after their abduction. On December 18th, American diplomats identified Hallums as the American kidnapped on November 1st. His family had pleaded for his release weeks before, however, and Hallums had been identified on several websites. Hallam recounted that the Jawa report was where his wife, Susan, first saw his name mentioned in public. His daughter, Carrie Ann Cooper, set up a website asking for Hallam's release. His family also appealed to his release on Al Jazeera. A videotape of Hallums was released by insurgents on January 25th, 2005. It is unclear when the tape was made. Hallums had a long beard and was seating a gun pointed at his head. Been arrested by a resistance group in Iraq. I'm asking for help because my life is in danger because it had been proved that I was in American forces. Hallums did not appeal to President Bush, but did so to Libyan President Muammar Gaddafi to help secure his release. Gaddafi later called for Hallums' release. Roberto Tarango was freed on June 12, 2005. Tarango said he thought Hallums was still alive, said that the kidnappers demanded $12 million. So here are the raid details. Hallums was freed on September 7, 2005, along with an Iraqi captive when members of the U.S. Army's Delta Force raided a farmhouse 15 miles south of Baghdad. The location apparently given up by an Iraqi detainee. When coalition forces arrived, the kidnappers fled. Although Hallums had been captured 10 months and 7 days, he'd been bound and gagged for much of the time, but doctors described him in good health. After his release, he called his daughter, identifying himself by saying, "This is Dad." So there was no prolonged gunfight, nothing. That's what makes this operation so cool, because even in that setting, you see how fast these dudes are moving. They're moving with a sense of urgency. They're moving with, hey, we know our intel. You got to give credit to the intel people, because when they hit that target, when you watch the video, they knew what they were looking for. They knew where the X was. They start moving stuff. They're getting the rug up. They're like, this guy's here. We found jackpot. Get this thing open. We're going in and we're getting this guy. We're getting our guy. We're getting the American, and we're getting the hell out of here. Let's go, 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 go. You do not have time to sit around on your hands on a hostage rescue mission. You got to go as fast as you possibly can. And that's what those guys were doing. Obviously, if you're doing it in a gunfight, you really need to go fast because you don't want to risk a bad guy taking out the hostage in the process. However, if shots do have to be fired, could look a little something like this. When this is a former Delta Force operator, Dave Nielsen, he's telling a story about when they hit a target and a bad guy used his wife as a human shield. Let's go ahead and watch this.
And we take every measure. I mean, it is the most careful thing. But, there was a dude who pulled his wife up. I call this my best sniper shot. It was like 2 meters. It was right there, but it was moving. I'm moving. I'm reaching backwards, in a room. He pulls his wife up like this, and I put it and his brain landed in his wife's lap. And my teammate, like slow motion, he's looking at me like, how did that happen? I'm like, I don't know. It was like when you blow an egg out with a pinhole. Um, and we knew that was the dude we were looking for, right? So it's like, yep, that's him. So there's no questions, you know what I mean? And if people want to bitch, why did we kill bin Laden, or we killed bin Laden, right? How? People shot him. Who cares who? But they found him and they just killed him. Good. So does that apply to other bad guys? You know? Yep. To me, it does. So when we find these emirs of assassinations in Baghdad, and we get him, and they give me that look, and I when and you just smile and kill the guy. It's God, there's nothing like it. It's awesome.
So right there, that is a former Delta Force operator making it clear what happens. You grab a woman, you want to use a woman as a human shield to try to save your life because you're a coward. And that's who these people are. They're cowards. You want to use a human shield, ain't going to make any difference to them. They're the best combat shots on the planet. And push comes to shove. You can grab a woman and throw them in front of you. You're leaving your whole dome wide open. You're still going to be unalived in rather quick fashion. You know what? I just want to add this. There's a lot of armchair quarterbacks now. There's a lot of experts who think they know absolutely everything about these dudes. They know what they're about. I'll tell you this. When it comes to being, we need to go do a no-fail mission, and we need to go save lives right now, and we do not have any margin for error, they're picking up the phone and they're calling tier 1 operators, period. There's nobody who trains to do what they do. I'm not degrading any other unit by saying that. The Green Berets are excellent at what they do. The Army Rangers are amazing at what they do. MARSOC, incredible at what they do. Whiteside SEAL teams, they do the job they have to do, and they do it very well. But there's levels to this. And when you get to the tier 1 level, you are in a whole different ball game. Whether it's SEAL Team 6 or Delta, does not matter. You are in a different world. And that world requires you to go out and rescue hostages, requires you to go out and confront the worst of the worst. That's what these dudes do. They do it insanely well. And that is the reality of the situation. I hope you guys enjoyed that hostage rescue video as much as I did. Let me know in the comments below. What'd you think about that video? I think it was pretty badass, pretty crazy, but let me know in the comments below. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Totally free. Cost you guys absolutely nothing at all. Huge, huge, huge boost to the channel. Hit that bell. All notifications turned on. You won't miss a single thing whatsoever. And trust me when I say it is going to be, we got a lot more stuff coming. You don't want to miss it. I'm cooking up some big things. Trust me when I say you do not want to miss it. And then right here, Instagram, David_Hookstead, X D Hookstead. That's where you can find me on social media. DMs are wide open. Feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'll see y'all next time.